What's going on, guys? Healy here, and today I'm going to be giving you my prediction for the American League MVP. The finalists for the MVP this year are Mike Trout, Mookie Betts, and Jose Ramirez. Comment down below who you think should win the MVP and the order following should be. Before we get into talking about the MVP, personally, I feel like JD Martinez he didn't get the recognition he deserved. I'm not saying he should have won the award, but I do say he should have made it in as a finalist. He had an amazing year, almost won the Triple Crown. He was just off on the average, and the home runs, he barely missed that as well. And if he would have won the Triple Crown, I assume he would have won the MVP. But besides that, I don't feel like he probably would have won the MVP. I just feel like he kind of got a little robbed. Well, let me know what you think on that. Because a lot of people say defense, he didn't play it at all. He did play 57 games in the field, and he batted amazing when he did play in the field. Won a Silver Slugger in the outfield position and at DH. But yeah, American League MVP. Jose Ramirez. We're going to start off with him. He had a 270 average, 387 on base, 552 slugging, with a 939 on base plus slugging. Hit 156 in 578 at bats. Hit 38 doubles, 39 home runs, and 34 stolen bases. 105 RBIs, not bad. He got walked 106 times, only struck out 80 times on the year. He had 319 total bases, and his OPS plus was 150. His WAR on the year was 7.9. It is 7.4 offensive and a 0.8 defensive. Jose Ramirez had a sick first half where he batted .302. Hit a 401 on base, 628 slug. He had 29 homers, 70 RBIs, 108 hits before the All-Star break in 94 games. His second half wasn't good at all. He batted .218. He had a 366 on base, 427 slugging, 10 homers, 35 RBIs in 220 plate appearances. So 2/3 the amount of plate appearances compared to his first half starts, but was not really comparable. The only number that was very comparable was walks. He had 49 walks compared to 57 in the first half, but his hitting stats went down the drain in the second half and really affected his MVP campaign. He did play for the Indians. They didn't play a lot of meaningful games in the second half as they were in the easiest division in baseball. Being on the Indians, and they didn't really have to try. They pretty much had the division locked up all year, and that could have played into his performance. Jose Ramirez is going to come in number 3 for my MVP predictions, and I don't think it's close. The next two guys, Mookie Betts and Mike Trout, just had a lot better years than Jose Ramirez. We're going to move over to Mookie Betts. He had a sick year. That Boston Red Sox offense was amazing. Him and JD Martinez were the biggest reasons why that Boston Red Sox team excelled. He had 520 at-bats on the year. He played in 136 games, which is the lowest out of the 3 guys in the MVP race. He had a league-leading 129 runs. He had 180 hits. 47 doubles, 32 home runs, 80 RBIs. Stole 30 bags. He had 81 walks, 91 strikeouts. He had a league-leading 346 average, 438 on-base percentage, which didn't lead the league, but he had a sick on-base percentage. His slugging led the league, 640 slugging, and his on-base plus slugging was 1.078. Amazing. Anything above 1,000 is really good. His OPS plus was 186, and he had 333 total bases on the year. His WAR was 10.9. He had an 8.7 offensive WAR and a 1.8 defensive WAR. Mookie Betts led the major leagues in WAR for the year, so that's definitely going to help out his case. And he was an All-Star and Gold Glover. And he won a Silver Slugger as well. Silver Sluggers, Gold Glovers, doesn't matter for the voting, as the voting is done the last day of the regular season. Mookie Betts did help the Boston Red Sox win 108 games on the year. I don't really think team's performance matters too much in the MVP voting, as you only get 3 at-bats a game, and it's very hard for one person by themselves to carry a team to a certain win total. And finally, Mike Trout played in 140 games. He had 471 at-bats on the year. Mike Trout had the lowest plate appearances out of these 3 guys, despite having 4 more games played than Mookie Betts. Trout probably pinch hit in a couple of those games that he might have sat out for the day. And also, Mookie Betts did play on one of the best offensive teams in baseball, so he got more at-bats or plate appearances per game. But Mike Trout had 471 at-bats, 147 hits, 101 runs. He had 24 doubles, 39 home runs, 79 RBIs, 24 stolen bases, league leading 122 walks, did strike out 124 times. He had a 312 average, led the league with a 460 on-base percentage, and had a slugging of 628. He also had a league-leading OPS of 1.8088, which was 0.01 better than Mookie Betts. He also led the league with an OPS plus of 199, which is it's a really good number. He had 296 total bases, and he was intentionally walked 25 times on the year. So like I said before, Jose Ramirez is going to be number 3 for me in the voting. The year he put up was sick. Not to discredit him at all, but Mike Trout and Mookie Betts just had insane years. Going back to 2016, Mike Trout won the MVP with 356 points over Mookie Betts, who had 311 points at that time. They had very comparable numbers, but Mike Trout did have him beat in a lot of important categories. But this year is a whole different story. I feel like the MVP voting is going to be a lot closer, and it'll be just a few votes could change who actually wins the award. Mike Trout's trying to go for his 3rd MVP award in 7 years. He's played it in 8 years, but I'm not going to count the year that wasn't his rookie year. And he's already won 2 MVPs. If he could win a 3rd one in 7 years, that would be sick. Mookie Betts is looking to get his first MVP ever in his career. He's only played 5 years so far and is age 26. Oh boy, this is such a tough pick for me. Luckily, I don't have a vote. This vote won't matter, and there's a bunch of other people with differing opinions on this whole topic. But unfortunately, for the MVP, I say Mike Trout is the American League MVP. In my mind, he did so much with the team that he had. He didn't play on a terrible team this year. They started off great, but he puts up such great numbers with that team that he has. He doesn't get put in the great spots that Mookie Betts gets put in. Because like I said, that Boston offense was amazing. They constantly had guys on. They constantly scored. They had great guys behind Mookie Betts to hit so that he would have to get pitched to. And Mike Trout had a pretty good team for the year. Some guys got hurt for a bit. They traded away some guys. They used some random lineups, and they didn't have as good of guys behind Mike Trout to protect him. I feel like they do have Justin Upton, Shohei Ohtani. But like I said, Upton was hurt for a bit. And I just feel like Mike Trout, man, it'll be super close. the numbers that come out of this, super close. But for me, Mike Trout is definitely the MVP in my mind. Last year in the NL MVP voting, Stanton won by like 4 points, and Joey Votto just had a sick year. Stanton had an amazing year, but yeah, I feel like a few votes are gonna determine who wins the American League MVP. Like I said earlier, put down in the comments section who you think is going to win the MVP and the order after that. For me, Mike Trout, Mookie Betts, Jose Ramirez. Super hard decision. Mookie did have Trout beat in a decent amount of categories, but Trout also had 50 less at-bats, and the teams could have influenced how some people performed on the year. But yeah, I'm excited to see the results for these awards. But yeah, make sure you leave a like, subscribe down below. This is Healy, and I am out. Peace.